Yavapai County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Okay, so do you want to go ahead and try to get started?
Of course, I mean, I'm on a time limit after all.
Okay, so right off the bat, we could get that one out the way. What do you think of this season so far, as a Mr. Mime main?
The season's been pretty rough for the mimes out there, but I can see that the mimes are certainly starting to make a comeback recently. There's a bit of support problems, mainly it's in the stupid blissies.
Oh, yeah.
I'll assure you that the mimes are working on a way to deal with them. So I set out on a very extreme journey to find just who I am. Coincidentally, this little quirk ball happened to go into my life, and he's kind of stuck with me, if you can't tell.
I can see that. I think it seems pretty caught on there. He has a psychic hold on you, as if, right? Sorry,
Trapped me in one of his invisible boxes.
That's interesting that you became a Pokemon fan and a MOBA fan all at once and just locked on to Mime as your choice. Yep. So this wasn't a plan. This just rolled onto your lap, and you've had to deal with loving both now. Say if you had to draft pick one move from Mr. Mime that you could only use for the rest of your life, which move would it be? Like, how does it?
It would confusion. I want to turn your attention to a little website called unite.db.
Despite his little wriggly appearance, he's a bit tanky with his passive, right?
Oh, actually, his passive is a bit of a niche thing in my opinion. I barely ever see it in play, and I really hope they change it to where it's more impactful.
Oh, okay.
1 second feels like a long time, but also isn't, because you have to cast an ability while you're taking damage. So he has the 8th highest HP at level 15. The 11th highest defense stat, the 8th highest special defense stat.
Well, that's pretty dang good. So his special attack is only 50, though. That's probably the worst, right? Well, but let's talk about your credentials real quick. So you've played how many games with Mr. Mime? Can I look you up on here? Okay, so your MVP rating, 248. You're filtering for ranked right here. The score, total battles, 840 is the number of wins. That's a lot of wins. So
yeah, Mime is the least picked character in the game with well, he doesn't have the lowest win rate, but he's the least picked.
Streamers I've asked about this, I've gotten different answers. For example, they think that it's not really that important to get more than 400 or 500 games with a single Pokemon. Now, it's only 2 or 3 buttons, right? And you learn how to use their interactions. But I seem to think that with people like us, there's a wall that you can climb over that other people might not know is even available to climb over with Mr. Mime. No pun intended, right? But like the skill level, is there a window on Mr. Mime that makes it worthwhile to spam more games with him?
So there is a bit of timing when it comes to Mr. Mime, especially with confusion. You have to know when to confuse at the right time. You need to know who to guard swap and when it's good to unite or not to unite despite its spam ability. Yeah. There is certainly a skill ceiling of Mime, an easy to learn, hard to master sort of category.
Okay, yeah, easy to learn, impossible to master. It's exactly like Snorlax. I think there's Pokemon that are like that. Obviously, Greninja, or something complicated with a bunch of different movement-involved mechanics. You could play 400 games with Greninja and still be a noob, maybe. Right? I don't think.
And that's definitely the same way as Mime. He's certainly maybe the second most complicated support to play.
He's got complicated buttons. So Snorlax, here's where it gets weird, right? Is because I did the same thing with Snorlax, something 3K games or so, on my main account with Snorlax, and he is not very complicated. Basically, if the enemy doesn't disrespect you, it's impossible to win. is usually how it turns. Like, that's how I describe Snorlax, is like the enemy has to mess up.
But rather than using Snorlax's girth and HP to block damage, Mr. Mime uses his stun and displacement to confuse the enemy in order for his allies to swoop in.
Yeah.
Mr. Mime doesn't always need his allies, though, as you've seen before. He's more than capable of taking on anyone who disrespects his abilities.
Okay.
I might have to cut it short.
Hopefully not that much background noise happens.
I'll probably text you the rest of my response, and you can read it yourself.
Hey, this is good. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you, dog. I can call you back if
And
you
I'm a
want.
Master Mime.
He's a Master Mime, guys. Give him a round of applause. Thank you so much for coming, sir. I appreciate you, and you have a good day.
I have like earplugs. convince me.